Hello and welcome back to Tommy's Top Picks Weekly Roundup Podcast, episode 59. I'm your host, Tommy, joined by John.
How's it going?
Good. It was a busy week.
Yeah, lot going on.
Yeah. We've had a wave of new subscribers, so welcome. This is the podcast that we do every week on Sunday where we discuss whatever we feel like. Sometimes it's Flesh and Blood, sometimes it's Pokemon, sometimes it's Magic, sometimes it's other indie games,
Or all the games
or
or
all
the
the games,
markets or whatever. Yeah.
or what we're playing, all that kind of stuff. This is just kind of our rant, our weekly
Yeah.
rant where we discuss things that we
This is where you hop on the Zamboni and you just ride away and you just let it go in the background
yeah,
while you're
and then
Zamboniing.
you hope that the podcast runs for the full length that it takes
Of
you.
your Zamboni. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So you're not just sitting on the
Still my
Zamboni
favorite comment.
in
Still my
silence
favorite. Yeah.
with no podcast to listen to. So,
Anyways,
yeah. So welcome. This is the podcast. We also had some exciting news. Tommy's Top Picks got featured in its very first article from
it did.
cardsrealmworld.com.
And
They
yeah, it looks like it's real human authors too. It wasn't just like a robot, which I guess makes sense because I don't think the robots can summarize videos so well.
right.
But yeah, pretty cool.
Yeah, absolutely. Very exciting. So thank you for the shout out. Thank you for putting our video in your article. And it was much appreciated. And then we wanted to announce that we have the TCG Player store up. I think we announced it last week, but just in
Yep.
case you missed last week, we have a TCG Player account. If you want to support this podcast and this channel, there are a couple ways you can do that. The first being, if you're buying your cards, you can buy them from us if we have the cards you're looking for. If we don't, I totally understand. We have a small selection so far. We're trying to build the TCG Player store, so we don't have many sales yet. So our inventory is limited of how much we can put up. But once that increases, we'll be putting more up.
We just got to level 2. Thank you for those who purchased from us.
Yeah,
Yay.
absolutely. Very exciting.
Took us to, I think, $1,000 and 1,000 listings or something like that. And
Mhm.
we list some pricier stuff. So we hit that cap pretty easily.
Yeah. And the other way you can support the channel is by joining our Patreon. We have a bunch of different levels, basically, but we still have ones that are $1. And you can hop in. You can join us in the Discord where we have discussions on all the things that we talk about throughout the week. Markets, gameplay, events. It's a good time. If you want to hear the things that we're talking about on the podcast and the things that we talk about in the market updates before and have conversations with us, join the Discord. It's a fun time. It's a good group of people.
Sure.
But so with that out of the way, how was your week?
It was good.
What'd you do?
It was fun. It was busy. Lots of good games in this week, which was good. What about you? I know you played a ton
I
of
played a
stuff,
ton of stuff.
even more than I did. And I thought I had a good
As I was,
gaming week.
yeah. So I was thinking about all the games I played this week, and I was like, oh yeah, I played that too. And I played that. And I played that. But I also pulled some stuff. I pulled Mondrak Glory Dominus out of a Jumpstart pack, which was pretty cool.
$30 card.
That
At
card's
least it was when we
gross.
looked at it.
Out of
It's so
Phyrexia, all will
good.
be one.
It's so fun.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm a fan. I like Phyrexia. I've been saying it, but I've enjoyed it. I like it. It's a
I
fun
might
experience,
build a commander deck with it.
right?
Seems good. Seems
There's
like
good
a good
stuff in there.
commander. Yep.
They made a lot of fun stuff. So we'll talk about the arena stuff in a second. But
Yeah.
yeah, they did a good job of featuring the new play product, various things that can kind of create out of this new set.
Yep.
It's definitely a unique situation.
Yep. And not something I pulled, but something I'm ordering and collecting is a Pikachu card. And
Your Sleepy Pikachu's?
my Sleepy Pikachus, 16 have arrived so far.
How
They
many
are
are you going for?
the binder holds 160.
Are you really buying 160 Pikachus?
I haven't decided yet, but I also haven't stopped ordering them when they're available for a good price.
All right, fair enough. Sleepy Pikachu it is.
Basically,
Price is not
if it
moved.
is if yeah, exactly. So as long as it's like under $5 with shipping, we're good.
Oh,
And
well, it's not
places that
anymore.
well, I know. But
Yeah,
they
I was gonna
pop
say so.
up. They do pop up. They're not there now. Um, but I don't know. I
Sleepachu.
just think it'd be fun to fill this yellow binder with the Sleepy Pikachu, throw it on my shelf, and then wait 5 years and see if it's still a $5 card or not.
That's so weird, but yeah, I mean, it would probably work, honestly,
For science. It's for
for
science. And
science.
so in
Okay.
5 years, if we're still doing this podcast and we're on episode 300 something, I can be like, hey,
You
remember
remember
that
that
Sleeping
Pikachu?
Chica binder I did 5 years ago?
How
It's a
many slots did you say it has?
160.
Jeez.
Yeah.
You're gonna spend $800 on sleeping Pikachus?
No,
That's $5 each.
I know, but I'm hoping, we might be heading
It
into a
crashes?
recession. So maybe it
What?
becomes a $2 card for a while, you know?
My goodness. Anyways. For science.
For science. No, it'll just be fun. We'll see how far I get.
Let's go.
Um, yeah, and then you opened some Everfest.
I did. I was listening to our comments, and one of the people said that the EV on Everfest is positive, which I believe them. It probably is because there's a lot of good stuff in there. But you guys know my luck, and
If
so I
anyone can
cracked.
pull below EV, it's John.
That's right, exactly. I cracked a case because I have way too many cases, and I've talked about that many times. And did not pull the case worth of value out of it. I did get a bunch of cold foils in one, which
Items,
was
cold
kind of
foil items.
cool. No, well, yes, items as well as the silver palms and something else. It was crazy though because I'd never gotten that many cold foils in one box. I was like, "Whoa, this is weird." But it
That's
averaged
cool.
out. It ended up with just I think 4 or 5 in total in the whole
Okay.
case. So it ultimately did balance out, but the
Weird.
one box was just like really really good. It had a bunch of the extended arts. It had the cold foils. I think it had 2 extended art majestics, which was weird. 2 cold foils, and one of them was a legendary, and something else that was really good. But anyways, it was pretty exciting. It was fun to open. I
Yeah,
enjoyed it.
absolutely.
So now I have a bunch of comments I need to dump somewhere. You know what? You know what really did it? I cleaned up my chaos boxes,
Yeah.
and so now I need more chaos for my chaos boxes. But I got my stuff sorted out, so now it's easier to do that overflow and everything. I have a whole section, like a whole box dedicated to overflow value cards, things
Yeah.
that I would
Yeah. Yeah.
potentially sell in a spike on, on a class or something.
Yeah, it's my
And
trade binder.
so, I have a whole section now for that, and then I have my play sets and everything else. So I feel pretty organized.
Nice. Yeah.
Yeah.
I may or may not have tomorrow off, depending on if the Eagles win or not, which, seems fun, right?
Hmm.
So if I do have off and the Eagles win, that is my plan for tomorrow, is to do a
Clean
bunch
up your
of card
cards.
organizing. 'Cause
Yeah.
it's spread onto my desk now, and it's bad. It needs to
The
be
other
neat.
thing I opened was the rainbow foil unlimited WTR Arc and Crew stuff. I've been
Oh yeah,
buying
yeah.
those up.
Hmm.
Yeah, because they're
As
definitely going
mentioned in the
away.
article.
Yeah, yeah, they're going away. They're disappearing, and
Yeah,
it's not just me. I've seen now other videos on it as well. Pretty
yeah,
much everyone's talking about it. But they're vanishing.
yeah,
I did buy some traps because I figure that's probably they're dirt cheap, and that's probably a
yeah.
good buy with what's his name, Riptide coming
Riptide.
in.
Hmm.
Yeah, so they'll probably be useful for him, I assume. Got my tomes. I love my tomes. You know that. And I'm trying to think what else I bought. Something else. But anyways, a bunch of them are now bought out, and there's nothing but like $50, $100, whatever.
Yeah, yeah,
Um, but yeah, it's definitely a thing.
yeah.
Definitely a thing.
I have so much WTR, so much. I opened so
Do
much.
you have rainbow foils? Because you
Yes,
might want to sell some of them
I
right
know,
now into this
I
madness.
know.
Because
That'll
you
be
might
part of.
have something that's super valuable now, but probably won't be in
Yeah,
6 months. You know what I mean?
yeah. That's part of my cleanup tomorrow.
Actually, that Mondrock or whatever it's
Yeah,
called from Phyrexia, just sell it now because this is the max price time. It will
yeah.
come down.
So if you want my Mondrax, check out our TCG
Yeah.
player store. There's a link in the description.
It's almost
It
certainly gonna
probably
come
won't
back
be up
down.
yet, but
Yeah, no. Well, it depends on when you're listening.
true,
Some
true.
people do their Zamboni work on Wednesdays.
That's true.
That will never not be funny.
No, no.
Um, yeah. So other than that, not much.
Okay, so I played a ton.
Yeah.
I went to my weekly armory on Thursday, played Kasai Blitz, won my first 3 games, beat a Viserai, beat a Rhinar, both very close, very scary games, and then beat a Briar, which was also a very scary game, and then lost to Alexi, um, which is just. Oh no, wait, I'm sorry. It was not a Blitz. It was a CC night.
Yeah, I was about to say, I don't think that's how that went. That was the
Those
previous
were
week.
my opponents. I played Dorinthia.
Yeah, that's right. I
I
was like,
played
this sounds
Dorinthia.
wrong.
Yeah, that was last
Yeah,
week.
Dorinthia. Yeah,
This
yeah.
week
You're
was
mixing up the
CC.
weeks.
Yeah, this week was CC. I play a lot of games this week. Um, this week was CC. I played Dorinthia. It was first round Viserai, second round Rhinar, third round Briar. Won all 3. Went into Alexi. That matchup is so much fun.
Lexi?
Yeah,
Interesting.
because it's such a battle of, because there are turns where you like to build up counters instead of blocking. The way Lexi removes all your counters is removing all the cards from your hand.
Mhm.
And so you actually just cannot swing. So you have frostbites. So you can't even like pop your Courage of Blade Hold to go
Yep.
and just swing once just to keep your
Total
counters.
shutdown.
Yeah. And so that happened a couple times, but it was very back and forth. It was a ton of fun. Left leaving like, this is why I love Flesh and Blood, for games like that, which was
Yeah.
awesome.
That's fun.
Yeah. And then we did a Tales draft yesterday with first edition. There was a
How did
Rampart
that
pooled,
go?
which was pretty cool. I went 1 and 2. There were 4 Oldims. I was one of them because I pack one, pick one, endless winner, which
That's
seemed
good.
like
Yeah.
yeah. But then when you find out that there are 4 of the 8 are Oldims, and there are 2 Lexis and 2 Briars,
No.
and
Briar
then
wins? I don't know.
yes,
Because 2 Briars, they're all getting their 0
yeah,
cost.
yeah,
Swing, 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 you know?
yeah. But my matchups were Oldim into Oldim into Oldhim. I played the other
So rough.
3 Oldims.
That was slow games, huh?
It was the least fun draft I've ever done.
Oh,
Is
that's
there
unfortunate.
anything that could have been done? No. No. It
Yeah,
just random was not on my side.
yeah, it happens.
I mean, it was fine. It was fun. I enjoyed playing the games with my friends. But the luck of just deciding to go Oldhim and then only playing Oldhims was awful. And the first 2 rounds that I lost, I went second. And the first one was just, I ran out of red attacks.
Mm,
And then I was swung at real big. I mean, you have 20 health, right? It splits. It splits
yeah.
health. And so when you get swung at for 9 and you have a blizzard and a, another card that doesn't block in your hand, it's real rough. Um, and then the second game, I got a Glacial Footsteps fuse turn 1 swung at me, so I could only, so it's dominated 10
Yep.
or 9. This was a 9, and so I instantly started at like 14 health. Yeah, so that was fun, but not really. But it was a good day. We went to another store too. Another store in Philly might be starting it up soon. They got their kit for the month, so we just got to figure out dates to when to host an event and what kind of events we're going to be hosting there. So there's going to be another local place to
So a
play Flesh and
third
Blood.
third
Hmm.
store playing.
Yeah,
Nice.
yeah,
Is it where is that? Is that down in the same area?
yeah. It's actually only a couple blocks up.
Yeah, I think I know which one that is. That's
Hmm.
cool.
Hmm.
Yeah, both of those are a pain in the butt to get to for me.
But that one is like bright, and there's a lot of room to walk around, and it's very
Yeah, it's a nice
clean, and
shop.
it's a very nice shop.
Yeah.
Then I played some Commander on Friday night with some friends. It was very fun. We had 2 of the Warhammer
Yeah, I was
40K
about to say, what
Commander
did you
decks
guys
going.
play? Yeah, the
Yeah, so
Warhammer?
I played Tyranids.
Uh-huh.
Um, then player played Necrons,
Uh-huh.
and my red, blue, black zombie deck was played, and my Michonne zombie deck was played.
Like, so zombies,
Yeah,
zombies,
and you remember
robot zombies, and
yeah,
Tyranids. Okay,
yeah,
cool.
yeah, yeah. So Rachel was playing the anti-John deck, where it just punishes you every time you draw.
Yeah, oh yeah, that one. My who was that? It was oh god,
I
I can't
forget the
remember the
commander
name of
name,
that.
but
Yeah,
yeah,
that guy who does that draw craziness. Yeah,
yeah,
that
yeah,
was a lot of fun. I love that deck.
yeah. And has cards that just makes you put your whole hand and then draw 7, whole hand on the
Yeah,
bottom of your deck and
yeah,
draw 7. Yeah, or
yeah.
create zombies every time someone
Someone
discards a
draws.
creature.
Yeah, yeah,
And,
that's so dumb.
when you make everyone discard their whole hand,
Yeah,
that's a
yeah,
lot of zombies.
it's good. So how did that play into each other? Was that did
It
that
was
go
okay.
well?
The anti-John deck was clearly the strongest.
Overpowered. Yeah, I kinda
It
figured.
was
You
nuking
crafted
people
that.
real quick. The
No.
Necron's deck was constantly like he just kind of mana screwed him. He got mana screwed.
Mhm.
Because he was like stuck at 3 for the longest time, and then he
Ugh.
just had like board wipes at 4, and
Uh,
to reset things to kind of make the game go longer. But and then Michonne was constantly just attacking with threats of zombies that she didn't care whether they lived or died
yeah,
because
because those that
yeah,
if I remember, they cycle back in
yeah,
or whatever,
yeah,
right? That's the whole Michonne thing. It's like you kill all those zombies, and then suddenly all the zombies are back, and you're like, "Really? I just got rid of all this."
yeah, uh-huh, yeah,
Super annoying. I
yeah.
hated
And
that
then I
deck.
was over there making giant Tyranids, and then and then at one point I had I think I had 12 Tyranids out, 7 1/1s, a 5/5, my commander, and a 3/3 and a 5/5. It was yeah,
That's what that deck does. You give
that
it
deck
enough
is wild.
time.
Yeah,
It's so fun.
yeah, absolutely. What else did we play? And then you played some Arena. You've been
I
playing.
did the Phyrexian stuff. So yeah, they have. I'm not sure if it's still up, but they had a festival,
Mm-hmm.
which was some coins or some gems or whatever to enter it. But you get the 4 or 5 pre-con brawl decks. So it's like a commander
Oh, cool.
event. Yeah, yeah, and they're the main colors, right? Two colors like black and white or whatever, right? And so they're themed. So like one's big creatures and proliferate, one is I can't remember, I only played a few of them, but basically they're themed and they work well together, they're balanced, they're kind of like precons, so they're a little weaker than an optimized deck, but it's fun, and then it's play as many times as you want on all the decks.
Yeah,
So you can switch the decks, you can keep playing on the same deck, you can go up the ladder all the way and then just playing, so it's one of those festivals.
right.
Very fun, very cool. That was most of what I spent my time on. I actually did not get to draft, even though I have the draft tokens and all that. I never got around to it because I was having fun with pre-con brawls. And
Yeah,
then I started creating brawl decks of my own, historic brawl, because it's
nice.
basically just commander
Yeah,
and can do that. They have good stuff and I have a ton of cards on Arena, so why not?
yeah.
It's been fun.
I have been tempted, even though last week I said I wasn't.
Yeah, that festival, I mean, that was worth it just because it's not expensive and
Yeah,
you just play until you're done. It gives you a good feel for the brawl of this, right? Which
yeah,
is, again, I
absolutely.
like Commander. That's what I like to do. So
Yeah, same. Um, I've been playing Pokemon Live still, which has been really fun. I got kind of bored of the Lugia deck, and it is pretty wild and everywhere. And the mirrors aren't very fun. It's basically who can do their thing first. So I made the Lost Box deck, which is a lot of fun. It's kind of just like says screw you, and I will do my thing as well. Um, but in a very interesting, different one prize way. So the games they can't just like knock 3 out and then win. They need to knock like 6, which has been a lot of fun. And then I dipped my toes back into Mew VMAX, but that deck is just I don't know, not for me. It's a little too top draw heavy. Like what do you draw?
right.
But then once you are set up, you win because you're drawing a ridiculous amount every turn. But I figured out how to bling out or like show your fancy cards on Pokemon Live because it's not, the UI is pretty terrible. So
Okay.
I finally figured out how to do it, and so I actually found a different deck list of all colorless Lugia, so it doesn't have like the Radiant Charizard or the Raikou or the Yveltal. It just has colorless Pokemon, and it's a little quicker, but has a little less fallback plan. But the way how quick these games are, you never really have time for that fallback plan, I feel. So I've just been, I don't know, and I found a bunch of fancy cards that I have for that. So that was fun. That's been fun. I've been playing on my iPad, and
It's cool.
works pretty well.
I
So,
just realized there was something else I opened, which I should shout out.
mhm.
I opened my Reinhardt cards. So I
Hey,
finally have my full deck. Yeah, that was what I was getting in the mail because I had a bunch of stuff I had to order that I just didn't have. And so I got it. I finally have a full CC Reinhardt deck that I like. I enjoy. I've played it on Talishar a bit, and it's fun. It's definitely not like top tier or anything. Like it's not winning anything competitive, but it's a fun deck to play. So
right,
now I have a CC deck that I would be willing to take out.
nice.
So I got to do that when I get back from Egypt. Although, shoot, when does Outsiders come out?
March.
When
Mm,
though? In March.
I want to say 24th.
Oh, okay. Then I'll have like a week to play it before the new meta kicks in.
Yeah, yeah, you'll be able to play just before.
That's okay. I'll probably get bored with it by then.
Yep, March 24th. Pre-release is March 17th to the 20th. So pre-release is the week before.
Yeah, so I'll have like 1 week,
Yeah.
1 or 2 to play, depending on how things are. Because I'm getting back, I think Wednesday, so I won't be playing that Thursday. You know what I mean?
Right, but wait, you get back. Yeah. So, but yeah, that's plenty of time for March 17th.
17th. That's
Yeah.
2 weeks.
Yeah.
Yep. That's right.
So, wait, it's not 2 weeks from now. It's 2 weeks from when you
No,
play
no,
it.
no, no. It's 2 weeks in March. I'll be able to. I'll be able to play it
Oh, I see what you mean. Yeah. We may be
before
switching
the
up
new
the
meta.
schedule.
But yeah, and I don't honestly don't care because like I'll probably want to play one of the new decks. I probably won't
Yeah.
necessarily want to jump on it immediately. You know what I mean?
Right.
So it gives me time to like slowly evolve into whatever feels good in the
Yeah.
new stuff.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, anyways, moving on. Sorry,
No, you're good.
distracted.
The other trading card game I played was One Piece. I played my first One Piece game. It's okay.
Yep,
I don't
looks
think.
pretty basic.
Yeah,
So I looked at it when we were talking about it before. I'm like, oh, okay.
yeah. I mean, yeah. That's kind of. Uh, we are going to have a guest on the podcast either next week or the week after, or possibly both. Um, who I've been playing One Piece with, and so we will probably talk more about it there. Maybe he can convince me to keep going with it. Right now, I just have the starter deck. If anything, if I do get into it more, I'm definitely going to be waiting for the second wave because cards, actually, singles right now are pretty cheap.
It came back
Boxes
down.
are really expensive.
Got it.
So it's like,
Is it like a alpha wave or Kickstarter wave or something? Is that how they did it?
no, it's just wave one.
Okay. So
And
there's
then
no special indicator between wave one and wave
I
two?
don't think so.
Oh wow, then definitely wait.
Yeah. And the other thing is like if you just want playables, that's super cheap. It's if you want the fancy cards.
Fancy
And
stuff.
in the
Yeah.
boxes you have a chance for yeah. So
Got it.
I could pick up singles and play, but when looking there's no like digital client for me to play. And really like if I'm going to play a game in person, it's probably gonna be Flesh and Blood.
Right.
So with and this is kind of a discussion John and I were having before we hit record, and something I wanted to talk about was kind of like restructuring the games that I play and how much time I dedicate to them each week, and more so just how I will play all these games because it's a lot of games, and it's one of those things where some are like we just play every once in a blue moon when we get together, and that's fine, like Soul Forge and Cryptic and stuff like that. And then, but like Pokemon and Magic and Flesh and Blood, I can all play online. And like if I'm going in person, there's only a certain amount of times that I can go out and have time for that kind of stuff. We both have day jobs, we both work, and so and just the pure energy of going out at night after work, it's a lot. So
It is when the freaking event goes until midnight.
yeah,
Ugh,
yeah,
that's still a main attractor for me. I think, that's one of the things that
it is
killed it
being
for me.
rescheduled.
I
It
was gonna
is
say
the
because they
change.
pushed it
Yeah,
to a later hour, and I
yeah,
think right after that, I stopped coming out
yeah,
because I was just like, "It's too much."
yeah. It's going back to its original time of 6:30.
6 or it was 6 before. I know everyone couldn't get there in time, though, that
Yeah,
was the problem.
yeah.
Get it? Maybe 6:30 will work. We'll
Six
see.
thirty was the real start time when it was 6, though. To be
Yeah, that's
fair,
fair. That's true. We did always start late,
yeah.
yeah.
So it should be about the same, I think.
And when draft gets pushed back in, that doesn't take as long.
Right, exactly, because you're only playing 3 games.
Yeah, and it's smaller life,
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
the drafting is the part that takes time.
yeah. Um, and then I think deck building is going to take longer in Outsiders
I could
because
see that
even you
actually, yeah.
have like because usually you have 30 minutes to deck build, but no one really needs that, especially after you've drafted the set for a while.
A
You kind of
billion
know,
times, yeah.
yeah. But with this one, you can draft a deck and still really not know what hero you want to play
Mm.
because there's
Yeah, we'll see
6.
how this hybrid stuff will work.
Yeah. Um, but the last game I played was Casting Shadows. So we played
What
that
is
last night
that?
with some friends. It is a board game, not really a card game,
Oh.
where it's 2 to 4 people. Um, and you're basically, there's these hexes, and it's kind of like an arena. You're all in there just collecting spells, um, rolling dice to get resources, and attacking each other. And the last one standing
Oh,
wins.
yeah. Art on this is really good.
Yeah, the art reminds me of Pokemon a lot, and they even like evolve. So you have this like cute little creature
Oh,
to start,
yeah,
and
I
then they
really wanted
evolve.
to play this game.
Yeah,
Sad I missed it.
yeah,
Oh,
it's a
well.
lot of fun. But this is the second time I've played it, so we will definitely be playing it more.
Cool.
Yeah,
Well, if we're talking about board games,
yeah.
I played a lot of board games in the past many weeks that I haven't talked about. So,
Like what?
well, I got to play Zia like epically, which was a lot of fun, and found that I was playing it wrong the first 3 or 4 times I played. And it's a lot harder when you play it by the rules.
Yeah,
So that's
that's usually
good.
how it goes.
Yeah, yeah. And I got to play. Oh God, what is that? I wasn't ready for Calico with my partner.
Mm-hmm.
It's a quilt building game where you create patterns with colors or symbols, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and then you get points based on how that's done. And there's a lot of variation to it, so it changes every time. That's been fun. We've actually played that a couple times, which isn't like my partner does not play a lot of board games and stuff, and
Mm-hmm.
she's asked to play this twice now. So
Nice.
that's a win. That's a
Yeah,
huge win.
absolutely. Absolutely.
So I'm like, yes, let's do it.
Yeah,
It's been fun. It's been fun.
nice. Oh, and then after Casting Shadows, we played Cat Sequence. You ever
What's
played
that?
Sequence?
No.
It's basically like this really generic, easy board game where it's like a checkerboard. And normally you have 2 decks of like standard 52 cards. And you play the card and then you put a checker piece on that spot on the board. And then it's basically connect 5, diagonal, across, horizontal.
Right.
But in this one, instead of cards, there's pictures of different cats. And then each one has like a cat fact about the breed of cat.
Well,
And
that's
then you have to connect 5. And then you have a partner, so it was like 2 on 2. It was fun. It's goofy. I don't have energy to actually think about playing a board game, but I
Yeah.
want to hang out and do some game.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. I like those games. They're
Yeah.
fun.
Yeah. And you can't like communicate with your partner about like what you have and stuff. So you can't, uh,
You could screw it up.
yeah.
That's fun.
Yeah. It's a lot of fun. It's also very good for a board game that for if you have a group with people that do not play board games
Right. Right.
because it is very like very simple. It is connect
Yeah.
five.
Easy to
Yeah.
get into. Easy to
Yeah.
play. Easy to just have fun over.
The
Yep.
picture of the cat is the picture on the board. And then you can meow to remove a piece
Wait.
from
For reals?
yeah. There's a card. Well, there's a card that says meow. So
Oh,
you
okay.
play the
I
card.
thought you meowed and that was
No.
an action in the
Well, I
game. I
did
was like,
also meow. I
yeah, I
did
was gonna
also
say I
meow.
have to get this on camera. What?
And then you can purr to put it on a random space. So you
That
can put it
sounds
anywhere you
very
want.
cute. I will
It's
have to
yeah,
grab that.
yeah, yeah. The four of us can play the next time we'll bring it.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
fun.
That will definitely that'll
Yeah,
be a winner.
yeah, yeah. Because it's one of those things like you can just have a drink and just have a conversation and play it
Yep.
while doing that. But that doesn't have anything to do about card games.
No, no, we went off topic here. We meandered.
Yeah. But yeah, we played a lot of games this week. So now it's time to focus and figure out what basically we talked about it where I'm basically when it comes to playing in person, it's gonna be flesh and blood. But online games, I feel like I have time for. Because I like don't play video games anymore. So it's just card games. But I don't know.
Card game video games?
Card game video games, yeah, basically.
Yeah. I feel like it's still a video game, but
Yeah. I mean it
if
is.
it's in my
But
video
yeah.
game time.
Yeah, exactly. Because there isn't
Yeah,
really
I've been
any video games coming out until that Moria game comes out, where we can all be dwarves and reclaim Moria.
oh, there's a bunch of stuff out. And Next Fest was fun too. That was this week. I guess it goes until tomorrow on Steam. There's a bunch of fun stuff on there, demos
No,
of
I'll have to take a
upcoming
look.
games. Yeah, I
Is it
mean,
on
you don't
there?
have
Is it
time.
on there?
It's no,
Oh,
Moria is not on. No, I wish. I've been playing this game. It's nutty called Dark and Darker.
okay.
It's essentially what was that? Was that game where the circle closes around you that we played a lot of? Winner Winner Chicken Dinner?
What? Oh, PUBG.
PUBG, that's it. Yeah, so it's like one of those style games. So, it closes in around you,
Yeah.
except it's medieval in
Oh, that's
theme,
pretty cool.
and you level, which
Y-
I love that
Yeah.
shit.
You
And you
like
get
level in the
gear.
game
Yeah, you level over
per
time.
round,
So yeah, no,
or does it
not per
reset?
round. It's out of round. So
Okay.
you can come in as level 5. You can come in as level 1. You can set up a party and go in as a group, which I guess is
Ooh.
pretty standard for that stuff. But it's also PVE. There's a ton of monsters in there. So you're in there to kill monsters and get loot and survive, and you got to get to the portal to get out. And so it's not last man standing like that.
Right. Right.
There's certain number of portals per game that allow people out. Everyone else just dies. Um, so you want to get a bunch of loot and then get to a portal, but the portals kind of appear at the end. So as the
Right.
circle's at a
Right.
very tight spot.
Interesting.
Yeah, so sometimes you get in there and everyone's like, "Yeah, let's not kill each other," and sometimes you're in there and everyone's trying to kill each other, and it's like murder fest. You can play like an assassin, you can play a wizard, you can play a fighter, a barbarian, not a paladin, a healer, a cleric. They all have special powers. You can change like your feats and stuff. Like it's a lot of variety. It's not fully implemented, but it is a lot of fun. I was like, I hate this game. It's so hard, and then I literally played it for like 24 hours straight. So
Yeah.
it's one of those games where I keep like when I stopped playing, I was like, but I hate that game a lot, but I want to keep playing. And now I've played like 3 or 4 classes, and I'm having a lot of fun with it. So,
Nice.
anyways, yeah, it's not even fully released yet.
No. Nice. I'll have to check that out. That does sound fun.
That would be fun to do a team one where
Yeah.
we can actually talk on Discord and coordinate because it is a tough game, so that little extra edge would make a big difference.
Yeah.
Anyways, back to cards.
Yeah. Is there what else did you want to talk about?
Well, we mentioned the markets a little bit. What's
Yeah.
happening with ECG Player, which, uh, boy, is it a monstrosity of scams and all sorts of nonsense happening.
Yeah, it's mixing. So yeah, we have the market update videos that we do for both Pokemon and Flesh and Blood, and it is becoming extremely difficult to figure out to just quickly glance and find these prices. We really
Yeah,
have to
you
like
can't.
dive
Yeah,
down.
yeah. It's frustrating. It's challenging. It's time consuming. It takes like for Pokemon, it's taken almost like an hour just to get prepped before the half hour of video
Yeah,
creation.
yeah,
It's crazy. And I have a script. The script you have to validate because a lot of the prices that pop up as the listing price are BS. They're scams, like we talked about a couple weeks ago, or they are, shipping and handling added onto it of like $15. So it looks like it's a real good buy, but it's really not. I mean, it's a pain in the butt, making that a bit of a headache.
yeah.
And then TCG Player changed the way it works, so now packs show up at the top of sealed products for some reason they never did before. I have no idea why. Like, they're best selling and all that stuff. I don't know what's going on, but they
Is it
changed the
Crown
way the
Zenith stuff?
sort works. No, it's everything. Fusion Strike, everything now. I never saw packs in my life before sorting by best selling. They changed the calculation on best selling. I don't know what it was before. I know it had something to do with, like, the value of the product and how many are selling, but now
Sure.
it's like packs are always at the top. Booster boxes are mixed in with all sorts of packs, old packs, etcetera. I don't get it. I have no idea, but it is very different now. Um, so that's a thing.
Interesting.
Yeah. Whatever happened to those Pokemon ETBs? I think they came out again. They were released again, so the hype is was baloney.
What for Crown Zenith?
Yeah.
No,
The
they're gone again.
the fancy ones? Yeah, but TCG player price is basically what it was, like, the cost from like, it came down because 'cause wasn't it all hyped up and, like, pricey because there weren't that many or whatever, and now they're not?
It's sitting at 95.
Yeah, it's like 90 from Pokemon itself.
It's 65.
Oh, is it? I thought it
Yeah.
was 90. What am I mixing
It
up
was
with?
64.99.
Yeah, but a couple weeks ago, they were going for 180.
That was the pre-orders and those were stupid.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So it's still a
But
little
people
bit of a
bought them, but
yeah.
very like when that was people were purchasing those when they were
Well,
still
I
available on the
heard that
store.
they had released
So,
another wave or 2,
n-
so
yeah, but then it was very quickly gone again.
okay, okay.
And the wave that was I don't know if it popped back up on Pokemon USA's Pokemon Center, but in Europe it did pop back up.
Got it,
Yeah.
got it. Yeah, I didn't I got some because they were crazy at the time.
Mhm.
Sitting on a shelf, and then there's this complete bundles, another one that's similar, where it's like $140 for this thing, but retails like 80 to 90.
Yeah. Well, isn't it cuz you have a chance at the Phyrexian dice or whatever?
That's one of the things which I guess the dice are selling between 30 and $50. I
Yeah.
don't get that.
They had one at the store yesterday and it was 30 bucks.
Yeah. It's 1 out of 15, I think, has them.
But you can't
And I
even like you can't even like
suppose the bundles don't really get multiple waves, like, they're not an overprinted product like
yeah.
everything else,
Yeah.
so that's driving it too. I don't know. And there's also the fancy lands, everyone loves lands, so
Yeah.
I don't know. It seems like they built something correctly. It has a lot of the things people actually want, so demand's high.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Maybe.
It's a thing. I bought some from our local shop. They had
Mhm.
a reasonable price. I was like, "Well, I'll get them from our shop. Can have the margin and all that."
Yeah. The only Phyrexian I will be one I got was those jumpstart packs. So, but that's just for
That
playing.
and that worked out.
It did.
That worked.
It did.
I'll get the
Long
collector when it comes down.
yeah.
Like, this is a standard set. I there's no hype here.
No.
No FOMO on this one.
No. I will yeah, I probably will too. I like the aesthetic enough.
No. What else? Any other market things, cards you're collecting besides your sleeping Pikachu?
Sleeping Pikachu's it right now.
Not
That's the main
collecting any
focus.
sealed product? You haven't bought any MetaZoo recently?
Zero. If you're interested,
I
get one
actually
once
do
to
need
me.
to go buy, I have UFO. What's the
Do
latest
you?
one?
Seance?
Yeah,
Do you?
Seance, that's it. Yeah, yeah. I'm gonna stick with it. I'll buy a
Uh,
box every set. I don't care.
no.
You can say no all you want. I'll still do it. I have a Kickstarter box of
Oh, I know. I
Cryptic
know.
too. I
I
have
know. I know.
what else do I have? I have all sorts of crap. I get like one of everything. I
Oh,
don't
yeah. No, I know.
minimal exposure. Yeah. Freaking wilderness is $50. I can drop $50 for maybe some days or something. You know what I
Right.
mean?
But I
Like
already have like 8 wilderness boxes.
whoa, that was insane. I think I have 1 or 2,
Yeah.
and Seance I'll have
And
1. UFO, I have 1.
wilderness is when I stopped.
Ah, I see.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I understand that. You burn yourself and then it's
Yeah.
like, "No." But see, that's the opportunity, not necessarily with MetaZoo. Don't take this the wrong way, people. But, the opportunity is when everyone freaks out and
Oh,
drops the
sure.
thing, which
Absolutely.
is why I'm looking at Magic so closely because this 30th, like, killed everything, the old stuff, etcetera. People
Mhm.
are like, "Oh, just dropping it." I even saw was it a video on s by Saint, and he's like, "I'm gonna get rid of my slabs of all this stuff," and it's all, like, alphas. I'm like, okay, if you want to, go for it. I'm not saying don't buy, Flesh and Blood as well or whatever. That's actually probably my primary collection is still Flesh and Blood,
Yeah, same.
but some of the older stuff is still older stuff. It's 30 years provenance is way better than two.
Oh, absolutely.
So I don't know. It's a thing,
Yeah.
but funny market times. Funny market times.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, sealed stuff, I'm still picking up Pokemon. I am gonna open up another UTB of Crown Zenith. I picked that up. Amazon had it for MSRP, which was nice at 45
Nice.
and then or 49.
You haven't seen any real Pokemon moves. The Pokemon updates like got quiet again. Like,
Mhm.
Nothing's
I think people are just
nothing's
waiting.
moving.
People are
Yeah,
like
for the
it's
new.
gone like people are uncomfortable paying that knowing that a Reaper announcement could be right around the corner.
Yeah, and we don't know what
Cuz
sets.
the
That's
news,
that's
yeah.
the big challenge. I wish they had said like these are what are coming, and then we'd all know. Well, I guess that would
We'll
probably
know
lead to a spike in things that aren't coming.
exactly. We'll know, but
Yeah.
we won't be the first ones to know. We'll know by the spike.
Why do you
But
say we won't be the first ones to know?
I mean, we could know.
I feel like they're pretty good with their communication. They have like a weekly update on their website. That's like the official like announcement.
Mhm.
So, I mean, as long as you check that, you'll probably know about the same time distributors know, honestly, because I don't think they get heads up because of
Yeah.
the way Pokemon does their stuff.
I don't know. I just I think we will find out in the next 2 weeks what's going to happen probably by the end of February that we figure out cuz then because a lot of people are already taking pre-orders and stuff for Scarlet and Violet, which comes out at the end of March. So we're definitely getting stuff in March, and we know we have dates for more Crown Zenith stuff coming out in between. But that's not; those are like the smaller tins and stuff
Yeah.
and other collection boxes, not necessarily more ETBs. But I would be very surprised if it was not, if there wasn't more ETBs. But I could see those going more to like the Targets and the Best Buys and the Walmarts before they go to the game stores, is from what I've been hearing. The ETBs at least.
Yeah.
Because I know game stores are having a hard time getting them. Like someone who got 200 in their first wave was only offered 10 in their second and being charged 50 for it. So being charged retail for the
Well,
second
that's great.
wave. Yeah. So I do not think there is a lot of it. I think a lot of it will be printed, but I think ETBs are, I mean, they're the biggest product for the set because there's no booster boxes. So I think ETBs will hold value pretty well, especially the Pokemon Center ones because they have extra packs. Um, but I don't know. I like what they're doing with the Scarlet and Violet ETBs. The exclusive Pokemon Center one will have extra promo, so they all have promos, but the exclusive one has an extra promo and it's a full art and it looks gorgeous. They both do. There's one for Scarlet and there's one for Violet,
Gotcha.
so those will be fun.
Yeah, box price flat. Nothing's really changed.
No, no, I think people have been so used to getting such cheap boxes that they're not really willing to pay this much until they
Yeah,
know.
I speculated this a few weeks ago that this might do a bit of a market shock. Remember, because that's what happened when both Flesh and Blood and Magic raised their prices.
Hmm.
eh, like everyone kind of pulled back. It wasn't like a major pullback. It wasn't like a crash, but it was nah, I'm not going to buy as much. I'm not,
Yeah, I'm going to
and
spend the same amount and just get less.
exactly. And so as a result, the supply kind of outstripped the demand, and both of them had a bit of a correction time. And it didn't last long, 2, 3 sets after that, everyone was totally back in. But
Right.
um, it is a thing. It shocked it a little bit. So we'll see. I wouldn't be surprised if we see a pullback from Pokemon in general booster boxes as Scarlet and Violet hits.
Yeah. Or
That'll be
the
your time to hit strike
yeah,
whenever people get down on the market.
yeah, it should be interesting. I don't know. I think there's also the thought process that Pokemon might just be moving away from Pokemon or from booster boxes itself. Like the
Where
product, the booster box,
why you say
and
that?
move
Where'd that
more
come
to
from?
like collections. What?
Where does this come from? What are you
Just LGS
basing it on?
owners have noticed a trend where the supply of like actual booster boxes that they are able to get are less for each set. Like over time, like compared to the amount that they were able to get a couple years ago, and then the increase in different kinds of collection boxes. So the thought process I'm connecting is that Pokemon, the company, is moving away from producing more booster boxes and using those packs in these collection things because they sell better or they're more profitable.
Yeah, could be. Got to take into account the printer too.
Right. And so if they don't have, because they bought the printer, but the printer still prints other things. Like they still print magic and stuff. And so it's not like they can just constantly be printing. And I know they have been, because there's a group that I'm in where someone brought up that they were looking on someone's LinkedIn profile and they found it was LinkedIn, or I think it was like a Glassdoor review maybe, that they were running like 2 12-hour shifts. So basically the printers were like constantly on printing stuff.
Mhm.
So stuff is being printed, but we don't know what, and we don't know what game, and we don't know which that doesn't
Yeah,
really tell us things besides.
no, I was more saying the reason stores were getting more booster boxes before they bought the printer is because it wasn't as easy to control, remember? Because if you're a third party printer or you're working with a third party printer, you
Right.
have to mass order to get the volume discounts.
Right.
So
Right.
they over ordered a lot
Oh, I see what you
by
mean.
because that's how you get the cheaper and the higher margin. And
Right.
they knew the product would move eventually, right? So
Right.
that's
Right.
just how you manage that. Having their own printer, they can kind of print to demand, not exactly, but more so. And so as a result, you end up with situations like Evolving Skies where it runs out because they didn't print as enough and they don't have their queues are too long in their own printer.
Right.
So I'm curious who else is printing with them. I've never heard of this group printing magic, but that doesn't mean that it's not true. So I'm not particularly well versed in the printers. This is
I'm not either.
Millennium
That's
Print Group.
secondhand knowledge. It's what I was reading in that discussion. But
Interesting.
mhm.
Well, we shall see.
Yeah. Um, trying to think. We want to touch on the flesh and blood market,
What is there to touch on?
WTR, the rainbow foils. We touched on it a little bit.
Yeah, we talked about that.
Yeah.
It's happening.
I don't know. I am gonna be nostalgic for WTR in
WTR is
over
awesome.
time.
Marvels have stabilized in Dynasty.
Hmm.
Probably start picking those up fairly soon. I'm hoping for them to continue down. The big cards are still big and expensive. The Crown and Emperor, and even the Angels holding up at 300. I'm hoping that comes down, but I keep seeing purchases around that price, so I don't think it is. I think that
Oh,
one's going to continue to be bought. CNC is still pricey. That's another one that has a continual buy. In fact, I think that one's going to start going up soon,
yeah, I believe
uh,
it.
because it went from slowly leaking down to basically steady purchases at 400. So anytime it gets to 400, people pick it up, and it
Yeah.
just kind of stays there. We'll see. Give it a few more weeks to see where that lands, but that one's gonna be a sad purchase for me. I don't want to spend 400 on it, but I want it, so I'm gonna have it.
Yeah, that's fair.
I will not have the Emperor. I think the Emperor is probably the only thing from the set I won't have, though. Like everything else, I will have.
It's okay. It'll be okay.
Is it? I don't
It'll be
know.
okay.
I have everything.
Do you want to play? Do you want to play the Emperor?
No, but it's an art piece. I like
Yeah,
the art. I collect the art. That's what I do. I collect things that are beautiful, and then I sell duplicates of those things.
that's fair.
Just some things are so freaking rare that just getting one is a pain in the butt.
That's true. Yeah, I've been looking
Older
into
sets,
the. I've been looking into the Marvel Dorinthia, so that's what I have my eyes on right now.
Marvel Dorinthia.
Yeah, from the uh, other language history packs.
Oh, right. I forgot they did that.
Mm-hmm.
That's a good one. Yeah, that's a
Mm-hmm.
good pickup. Yeah,
Yeah.
apparently the Katsu promo cold foil, I guess a young Katsu cold
Yeah.
foil, like went nuts.
Oh, I bet.
It was like 10, $20. Now it's like 70 or some crap. It's like insane.
Yeah, I think all those cold foil promo heroes, just cold foil promo heroes, will do well.
Yeah, I mean, I've been picking up a lot of different promos. Extended arts seem to do well over time. A lot of obviously anything cold foil that's somewhat rare, not the one that's just like everyone gets one, but
Yeah.
the other
Yeah.
ones, the winning ones,
Yeah.
um, those tend to do well over time. So I try to pick up the least exciting ones at any given time.
Right.
But
Right. That makes
so it's
sense.
like, oh, everyone's tired of Everfest or whatever Uprising. So those are the ones to grab, and then a couple sets later, they're suddenly hotness again.
Yeah.
I think the illusionist stuff's probably a good buy right now because no one's really thinking about illusionist.
No, and especially in a player's market.
Yep, yep. So I've been looking at those.
And when they
Um,
come back, they're gonna come back.
oh yeah, and like a lot of them were the blue type. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
talking about instead of the light. So um, whenever we get the illusionist, that
The
will
Bluesionist.
yeah, that that's they will go insane. The prices on those will go
Oh,
nuts
absolutely.
when that happens. Assuming we get one. Now we don't know, and it sounds like we're gonna get a prism first, but who knows? The way they're changing things up and being crazy, I like who what maybe we get baby prism in the next set, you know?
Could be.
Like pre-light baby prism like what's her name? Suri or whatever the new assassin is.
Yeah,
How she's
Zuri.
in like yeah. Like I know we have young prism already, but maybe it's a different young prism. Like it seems like we're getting different heroes of the other things, and I don't know. We'll see how it all plays out, but they seem to just break all the rules every new set, so
True.
that'd be good. Little blueness, non-light prism,
Yeah.
great spectral shields. A lot of that stuff is spectral shield synergy.
Right. Yeah, that makes sense. I'm not excited for that to come back.
What? You don't even know what it is. What is
Illusionist,
this?
just illusionist.
What is this totally different? Why do you hate illusionist? What's
Just
wrong with you?
just here. If here, all my attacks are now worth. They attack for 2 more because Phantasm.
Seems good.
Yeah, seems real good. Seems fair.
Block better? I don't know.
What do you mean block? What? No, you can't
Block
block
with
official.
sixes? Yes, you can. 1/6 pops anything,
Right, but
so
then
you can totally block efficiently. Gotta have sixes.
no, I disagree. But I mean, and also some heroes just that messes with their complete game plan. Like they just they don't play sixes.
Yes, 0 cost swing 4s suck against illusionists, that's true.
Yes, so that just cuts so many heroes out of the meta whenever they're there. So it's not.
Yeah, I completely disagree, and that's not really what happens because do we ever have a time where there was
Yes,
like a
Prism,
full
Prism,
yeah,
dude. Forget.
and guess what? It didn't actually last, remember? She was top tier, and then she suddenly wasn't anymore, and Chain did just fine.
Well, yeah, and then Chain
That's
hit
what I'm
Velvet.
saying, like, that's the 0 cost swingy guys did fine into Prism. She had her time, she definitely had a period where she was oppressive, but she wasn't, like, oppressive over an extended period of time, she had these ups and downs, she got her butt kicked.
Agree to disagree.
Agree to disagree. And that was also when Guardian was garbage, which Guardian's really good into someone like Prism.
Yeah.
So,
Oh well, sure. To a degree. They Prism. I don't know. Illusionist is just that one class that still gets under my skin. I feel. I don't know. Dromai does a bit, but she's
I was gonna
not.
say Dromide's
She's
not
not
even
as
in the
bad.
meta, is she? Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely, she is.
What? No.
Yeah.
No.
Not in the like meta.
Yeah. I was like, no, she's not. Just because she's at your local shop doesn't mean she's like in the meta.
Right. But that's why I said my skin because local. Like when I play against Dromai.
Yeah. So we have a really good player that plays Dromai, therefore all illusionists are busted and I hate them.
Yeah, as a personal opinion, yes.
Yeah, okay. Okay.
Especially when I'm trying to switch to Dorinthia. Dromai is fine. Prism would not be okay.
Oh, I see.
So
That
like
would
the
shut
Dromai
down.
fight is fine because I can handle the dragons. I have a game plan for that. There is no game plan against Prism. Yeah, I
Yep,
have
that's
the
fair.
3 CNCs, but other
Yep,
than that, I
that's
add
fair. Yeah.
more and yeah.
Erase face.
No. So it's not like that there aren't cards available to put
I
in.
know. I
It's that
know.
I
It
don't want
just
to put any more in,
makes
otherwise my deck
your
doesn't
deck
work.
not go burr as
No, it just
efficient.
yeah, as in like there are multiple turns where I'm only swinging once, and that does not work. Does not work. Um, I don't know. It's fine. It'll be fine. I'll find a hero that beats Illusionist, and I'll just play that. Anything else? I
I
feel like
don't
we're
have
just
it.
rambling. Hmm?
That's it. I don't have anything else.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, at least we want to wrap it up.
Sure.
All right. Well, don't forget to hit the subscribe button if you enjoyed our discussion and you made it all this way. You might as well, so you can listen to next week's discussion.
Some of you
Some of you did.
crazy
Some of
people
you
with the
are still
hashtags.
listening.
I'm like, what? Every time.
It's so good. We appreciate you. And so I guess until next week, we will catch you guys later.
Have a good one.